What's up, guys? This is Erik Griffin, and I want to give a big shout out to Helix Sleep. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to the mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Find your perfect mattress at helixsleep.com/Griffin. All right, let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast. You know the name. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Riffin with Griffin. Cause it's Riffin with Griffin. All right, welcome back. What is it? 2021? Even though it still feel like 2020 because the same stuff is going on, but we're here trugging along, still bringing you the content. What else can we do but to keep living and keep moving forward? So here we are once again, Riffin with Griffin. I'm here for you, and I'm going to talk about a number of things, but it's just, another regular Riffin with Griffin solo. I'm in my new old looking. It's still the old looking, but it's a new studio setup. But everybody, just welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. All right. Sing it back down. Oh, I got to work on the volume. I don't know if I got the volume controls right. Got my candle from the Hangover Candle Company, and they sent me a new one. I love that smell, so shout out to them. Got my candles up. I broke one of my damn pictures in the move, so that's all messed up for you people that are looking on YouTube. I've been doing live episodes. This one isn't. I didn't do this one live, so it is what it is. But welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. I'm here for you. I'm going to try to work on I got all these like noises going on in myself. You know what it is I know I got like a sinus issue. I need to go get whatever that surgery is called. When your deviated septum. I need to go fix that. I drank some water before I started, so maybe I just get into it, and then I have these like old man noises, and I'm trying to work on it because people send me messages about it. Go, yo, dude, you do this thing with your mouth, and I can hear it every time on the podcast. It drives me crazy, or somebody will send me a message about something else. But anyway, happy 2021, guys. We're here. We did it. I'm not going to do like some recap. It's like the year in review or nothing like that because it's like whatever. I just feel like 2020 is like, it's still here. The stuff that is happening it's still going on. Like the coronavirus, the pandemic's not going to be like, well, it's a new year, so let's get out of here and let's start the whole thing over again and give everybody a break. It's not going to work like that. Everything's still going to be just as shitty as it was before. So here we are. You know what I mean? That's the tough part about it is like, we had the holidays. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but for me, it was just kind of like very low key, very chill. It was hard to deal. I already have trouble with holidays right now anyway because my mom doesn't understand that it's the holidays the way she did before. Like, it's like Christmas is just another day. Even though she goes through the motions. So she goes, oh, yeah, Merry Christmas. But I know it's not the same, So that's tough to deal with. For all those people out there who have family, parents that are dealing with dementia, grandparents or whatever, it's tough. It's tough thing. So I'm trying my best to like manage it. Trying not to avoid her. So the new thing now, by the way, because I always like to tell you whatever the new thing is with my mom's dementia. The new one is now she goes, how come I don't hear from you? Even though I just talked to her, So now I didn't call her today and I should have. But that reminds me, it's like I just have to every single day I have to call just to be able to, even just to hear her say the same things over and over again, just so she gets used to that routine of like, oh, I'm hearing from him every single day. I don't know what to. There's no right or wrong way of doing any of this. It's just however, if you guys have any suggestions or people that have dealt with this, how did you deal with it? How did you manage? Tell me. If you even want to tell me some of the stories that you've gone through, I'd love to hear that kind of stuff too. Even if you want to send me a little video being like, hey, like I do with Real World Advice from a Grown Ass Man. If you want to send me a video about like you dealing with your parents' dementia or grandparents or whoever it is in your life, if you want to tell me, hey, Erik, this is how I did this, and this. And if you want to say anything about that, I'd love to. You can email me at eric@erikgriffin.com, or you can send it to me on Instagram. Send it to me there. It's all good. Because it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough. And I'm trying to not avoid avoid my mom, because that's what I find myself sometimes doing, because like just talking to her just every single time reminds you of how it is, and you know, and so you're trying to think positive, but it's just, you know, it's hard. You know what I mean? So I know you guys understand that. This is a public service announcement for all the Erik Griffin fans, Riffin with Griffin fans. I've received countless messages, and I appreciate you trying to be fun. Some of you trying to be funny. I mean, I think what people are finding out is doing comedy in this era of social media, it makes a lot of jokes, you know, old and hacky fast, unoriginal. Because I know a lot of you think you're being so original that you're the only person that has thought of this. But I've received countless messages about the movie Soul. Hey, Erik, is this you? Oh, congratulations on your movie. You know, oh, they used your likeness. Did you get paid? It's like the same joke 1,000 times. Okay. Thank you. I get it. The character sort of looks like me. I think it looks more like my buddy Owen Smith than it does me. But either way, you know, okay. It's like, enough, man. You know, you guys just keep going and going and going with it. It's like, oh, here he is. You know, oh, Soul. You know, oh, man, I've got so many messages on Instagram about it. And everybody sends the picture. My picture next to that picture. They found some picture of me that looks just like that. And it's just like, okay, guys, I get it. All right. So just for all you out there that listen to the podcast or watch me on Instagram or all that kind of stuff, I got it. I heard the joke. Thank you. You know? I wanted to catch up on some things that I like talking about. You know, I want to talk about the Bachelorette finished. You know, get my computer up here. You know, the Bachelorette finished. What's her name? Tasha. She picked that guy, Chris. Yeah. I don't know, guys. To me, I just reject, like, once it gets down to like all these people are sort of in love, whatever. You know, it's like, I didn't like this season of The Bachelor. This is the only time I've ever watched a Bachelorette in the first place, or a Bachelor. I never watched any of them, but I watched it this time because I thought it was kind of interesting, because they had the girl. She was 39. She was super dramatic. She fell in love with some dude, Dale, whatever the guy's name was, right away. And then they kicked her off the show, and they supposedly are getting married. Who knows what's really going on with them? And then, you know, they bring this new girl on. So all these guys were sort of into the other girl. So now they got to get into this new girl. And, you know, like, then they had this dude, like, they had this situation. This dude was from Harvard, okay? Then it was like this young guy there. So the dude from Harvard was like a little older. He was like 36. He's a real snobby, pretentious asshole. You know what I mean? That's how he came across. Even though later I thought he redeemed himself. But anyway, he comes across like that. And there's this kind of this young guy who's starting all this drama, clearly starting all this drama. And then, you know, then he starts drama with the girl and tells her, like, yeah, they don't think that you're making a good choice by keeping me around. And then she comes over and be like, you're questioning my, you know, integrity and trust. It's like, yeah, bitch, we are. Okay. Like, it was stupid for you to have that guy there. Yes. Your choices can be questioned on a freaking television show where you're kissing every single guy and telling them all that you love them. Yes, your decision making can be questioned being on a reality show trying to find your husband. So sorry that, you know, like, the whole premise is ridiculous, because, yeah, you could have, if you allow yourself, it's like you're allowing yourself. The Bachelor and Bachelorette is just open cheating. It's open, like, you know, polyamorism. It's open, like, hey, we're all going to fall in love and we're all going to be okay, under the guise that it's a game, you know, that it's for television, you know? So now everybody's going to, like, be okay with, you know, clearly she's kissing every single person. And I don't got a problem with that, because the Bachelor is even worse. What they do, they kiss every single girl, you know, so I don't have a problem with that. What I'm just saying, though, is that you are building a connection with every single person on the show. And as it gets lower and smaller and smaller numbers, you're building a connection even more, and it gets stronger and stronger. And you have this real connection with like 4 or 5 people, and then you're supposed to narrow it down. But at that point, it's like, it's so messed up. Like, everybody's hurt. Everybody got hurt feelings. And you just kind of go, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know why I don't like it, but I just think the psychology. I just delve too deep. I think about things too deeply, I guess, or like I go into the nuances of it sometimes, where you just have to just enjoy that it is what it is. But for me, like I just started to think about like I believe that you can connect with anyone if you allow yourself. So the one thing about this, you're in this setting and you're allowing yourself to be like, okay, so I don't have to worry about anybody's feelings, right? So in that part, I think it's good because here you are, you're this guy or girl, and you're literally, it is okay for you to basically not care about jealousy of the other people because you go, hey, you understand I'm trying to fall for this person too, and you get it. And so, and then for all the people that are trying to go for this one person, they also get it. So they're relieved of this possessiveness feeling because they know, oh, I got to do my best, so I'm the one, and they're not worried about the other stuff. So it's like in that sense of it, I like the psychology of that, but at the same time, I just think it's so, I don't know, it's so damaging. Like at the same time, like some of those guys were really heartbroken, and you could tell that they opened up to this woman for the first time in their lives, or like really deeply, and they got nothing for it in their minds. But I just feel like a lot of those dudes on The Bachelorette, they gonna end up being fine. I mean, I'm sure there was countless women who were like looking up their Instagrams, like, if she don't want you, I'll take you. Hey, you know what I mean? Because like they're all hunky, in shape, young dudes. It's like, okay, I get it. So I don't know, but good luck. She picked this one guy. I knew it was going to be between him. It was that guy, Chris, I think was his name. Yeah. I'm trying to look up the, let me see if I can. Batch. I'm a one-man show, so I got to look everything up myself. Bachelorette 2020. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. I thought it was interesting, but it got once the 39-year-old one got off the show, it got kind of boring to me because like I guess that drama of it was like the fun part. And then it just got really like sort of sappy and romantic, and you just kind of going like, who's she gonna pick? You're wondering who she's gonna pick because you felt like, oh, she has a connection with all these people. But I feel like the connection she had, this one guy, Ben, she kicked him out already. And then he decides to come back, like, because this happened twice already now. The Harvard guy got kicked out, and he came back like, I love you. So she let him come back, right? But she still ended up kicking his ass out, right? Same thing with this guy, Ben. This guy, Ben, is kicked out. She has a romantic night. I think she had sex with all three guys, by the way, which is fine. You want to find out which one is what, right? So she kicks this guy, Ben, out, right? And then later, he's back. He did the same thing, like, I can't be without you. And so she gives him a chance, but she still ended up kicking him out. It's like, your instinct was to kick him out. I don't care if he comes back with whatever he came back with. He got to go, right? And then she ended up picking like this whatever the guy. And so, I don't know. Maybe you guys don't care about what I'm saying right now, but The Bachelor is just a weird psychological experiment. And which brings me to, there's this show I started watching. I got to look it up. Yeah. It's called Are You the One? And it's on MTV. And I've never seen it before. So it was on Netflix, right? And I'm watching it. And it looked it was weird how it looked. Because I was like, wow, this is the style seems weird. I wonder why they're doing this. But then I looked it up and it was like, oh, it's from 2014. It's an old show. But I love this show, guys. This is why I want to talk about it on the podcast. I don't know if you've ever watched Are You the One? But it's okay. Let me just go over it. It's a show on MTV. So this is what it's about. They get 10 guys and they get 10 girls. And they put them through a rigorous matchmaking process. So it's probably like eHarmony where they ask them 1,000 questions or 100, they ask them a bunch of questions. They do a psychological survey. They find out, they have this sort of say a psychological algorithm per se, right? That they have, and they match the people up. They determine of these 20 people, these are the best matchups based off science, based off, psychology and science, right? And then they say, so the game is these 20 people have to figure out who the perfect matches are. They have 10 chances. And if they get it right on the 10th chance, they all win. They split $1 million. So everybody gets $50,000 each. Okay. I love that. I love that part of it because it's like, what's your motivation? Is your motivation love or is your motivation money? So now you can get both. So we can find love that is destined to match, or it works based off personality and all these things. And you get $50,000, $100,000 as a couple. That's great, right? So you start with that premise. But what they found is a bunch of broken people who are terrible at relationships, and also people in their 20s who are so dumb. Like, these kids are so stupid, and that's where the drama comes in. So you're watching the show. So initially, the people come in the house, right? So they come in the house and they see each other. Now, and this is what I love about the show. This is that nuanced stuff that I like, the psychological part of it, right? Because we don't pick people for the right reasons initially. And this is what's happening. You know, you hear people going like, well, that guy's usually my type. The girl's like, well, he's got tattoos. He's the bad boy. Or there's this guy over here. Oh, that's my type. So everybody's picking their sexual attraction first. Eye test. They go, I like how that person looks. That's what I want. So they all match up. They all pick. Now they have this ceremony, right? Where one week the guys pick the girls they think is their match. The other next week the girls pick the guys, whatever. So then they're all sitting there. They're all coupled up and matched up. And then the host is like, okay, here there's 10 lights. They have these 10 movie theater spotlights that shoot up into the sky. And okay, so the couples are sitting there. And so for every match, a light lights up. You know what I mean? So they have the matches, everybody's sitting there, and then maybe they get like 2 lights. So of all these couples, there's only 2 matches. So when you see that, you already know you're sitting next to somebody who most likely is not your match, even though in your head you've gone through all this bullshit of like, oh, this is my match. And so you would think, and this is why I guess you have to have young people, just arrogant, dumb, they don't have there's no wherewithal. It's just they feel like they're invincible. You know, when you're in your 20s, man, you think you could do anything, like that. You think you're so smart, you know what I mean? And then you just like, so they have all these kids, right? They're there. So initially, here's what happens in the first week. All of a sudden, they all coupled up, and this is the love of their life. I don't want to leave this person. You do that thing where you just meet somebody, you start talking to them, and you feel like, oh my God, this is the connection of a lifetime. Because that's how you do it, And then, of course, they have this place called the Boom Boom Room in there, this private room where everybody goes to have sex with whoever. So people having sex on the first night, it's all this stuff. And so now everybody's all coupled up, and then so they're sitting there. So in the first season, they're figuring out like, oh, we didn't do this right. One of the people has a strategy, one of the people's like, look, let's figure out, this is about the money. He's like, okay, so it didn't work. So let's mix and match. Let's figure out, and then there's people who are like, just one girl, her name was Brittany. And part of me feels like it's scripted. Like there's writers pushing them, egging them on to do things. I hate thinking like that, but I'm sure that's the case. But I like to believe that these people are just dumb. You know what I mean? So this girl, she's like obsessed with this one guy, and she keeps going, he's my match. I know he's my match. And she's just being stubborn about it. And I'm just looking at these people, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, $1 million is on the line, and y'all not going to work together at all? I mean, it just shows you how difficult it is to get people to come together to even to work towards a common goal. Because by the way, even if this computer psychology and all this stuff has put you like this is your match, it don't mean you got to stay with this person. Let's just do this for now and get this money. I'm looking at the show like, bitch, shut up. Like, just find another dude so you can get the match. Y'all can get the money. And then when you leave this place, you and that guy who you think is the one, y'all can just be together for, another week when you realize that he's not your match, or you go, oh, you beat the odds and the guy is your match, right? No, they just acting up, fighting, being selfish. And I just go, damn, this is the real, the show part of it is like, it's such a psychological experiment of showing people you think you know, but you just don't know the reasons why you get with someone. I mean, initially they're so superficial. They're so, even when you have what you think is I have instant chemistry or whatever it is like that, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work or that you're compatible, it's weird how sexual attraction, that thing that you have, it actually it's mutually, it's not mutually exclusive to the things that like make a relationship work, like if are you neat, are you messy, or do you like to travel, are you outdoorsy, are you organized person, are you like a go-getter, are you a motivator, like how do you guys click? There's so many different aspects of that we really don't even think about when we are initially trying to meet someone. It's all so primal. It's all so like, I want you because I want you, I desire you, or whatever that is. But that does not sustain a relationship. And so watching this show, it's like the young people that watch this show, I hope that they saw, because it's still going on. They had it's been going on. They have a 2019 season, so I didn't even know that. I don't watch MTV anymore. You know what I mean? I'm an old fart. So, but I really love this show because, like I say, I love the experiment of it. So, you would think that the people watching the show would be like, oh, well, so maybe I shouldn't just go gung ho because I have a feeling about someone, right? Because it actually, you might be missing out on a real connection, a real match, even if it turns into like a powerful friendship. You really should give yourself that opportunity to look past your superficial wants and desires, But we all say the same thing in a relationship. Well, I have to be sexually attracted to them. But I would think that all those things that make a relationship click, or the things that make you compatible with someone, all those things lead up to actually being sexually compatible, But who knows? Because maybe that gets messed up too. But I think it goes hand in hand. Because, by the way, I mean, you literally can be sexually attracted to anyone if you allow yourself. But a lot of times we all have a recipe, like we have a cookbook, and in our cookbook, it's like, big titties or whatever your thing is, girls would be like, he's got to have abs, or if you like, oh, he's got to be this, or he's got to be that. And we have this recipe and we think this is the only recipe that we can follow. But I just don't think it works like that. I think it's more improv, really, that, when you start to connect with someone and then the ingredients start to come together and it starts to flow into something that you didn't know was there. But we just oftentimes don't allow ourselves to really explore that because of these preconceived ideas we have in our head about what we think is our match. So are you the one? I do recommend watching it just because I like to hate watch it too. Because again, it's people in their 20s for real being super stupid. It's the only way I could, like, it's like, I look at that, and it's sometimes I feel like old. Like I understand I'm closer to being an old person than I am to being a person in their 20s. I feel like that's where I'm at in my life. So I look at that and I go, damn, was I this arrogant, or was I this dumb? Was I this like naive? Did I have this like weird lens of looking at the world because I was a certain age? It's, oh man, it's really interesting to watch. And then I'm watching season 2 and there's like this real Southern girl, but she's a little chubby. This little chubby Southern girl. She got great personality. She's fun. She talked with a real thick accent, and she's like into this like frat boy, and he's just not into her, but they got a connection, like you could tell that they like, but for him, it's just friendship and she don't get it. But I'm looking at it and I'm going, look at the girls that he keeps going for. Like, if you don't understand it, you're not that type, right? And you got to see that, like, you're not his type. But like at the same time, all that I've been saying is they actually could end up really having the best connection, and that best connection even could turn into being like a really great sexual connection. But like I say, we don't allow ourselves sometimes to really explore that. We don't really allow ourselves to explore that because we're so caught up on, I like people to look like this. And I will only let myself fall for people that look like this. And if they don't look like that, then they're not my match. Oh man, I don't know. And sometimes you do have that thing where you have like this sort of like chemical connection. One time I was at Greenblatt's deli. This was a while ago, you know. It was late. I just got off the Laugh Factory stage, and it was late. I was gonna get a sandwich and go home. And this like girl comes in, and she's like the delivery. She's like picking up Uber Eats, you know. And she was younger than me, and we started talking. Like I just was being like, hey, you know, it was a casual talk, like, oh, whatever. But there was a thing there, you know. It was really weird. You know what I mean? It was really weird, you know. I can't explain it, you know, and I could tell that something could have happened if I had pursued it, right? But it just didn't seem appropriate at the time, or whatever the circumstances was. And I always thought about it because I was like, damn, there was something, because she looked at me and I looked at her in a way that I was like, what the fuck, you know? And sometimes that just happens, you know? And then you eventually get to pursue that, you know, but it doesn't mean that thing is like that thing is right for you, you know? But I think we all look for that. You know, I remember the first time I met Rachel, I was on stage because she came to my show, and then I was doing my act, and I looked out and I saw her, you know, and then we were like, and I was doing my comedy and I was performing for her. The things I was saying was for her. And instantly, as I was looking down at her, I was like, oh yeah, there's something here. And was it all because of the circumstances of me knowing she's coming to the show, and you know, how we met online and all this, and you know, so is all that goes into the soup, you know, into the recipe, and it made something? Well, yeah, maybe it did, because here we are right now, engaged and living together and all that, right? So, and you know, think about it for yourselves. Send me a message in the comments. Have you ever had like some kind of like just weird reaction? Not even weird, just like where, you know, you met someone and you were like, oh man, we there's something here. You wonder what that is. Is there some chemical coming off of you and coming off that person, and it's connecting? Is it all mental? Is it all like, you know, is it all foo-foo magic, you know? Or is there really something, like if you had like different kind of lenses in your eyes that could like show like the spectral plane or something, and then like our auras really do connect? And you know, or when two auras touch and they have similar things, you could feel it. I mean, I don't know. Because I think I've felt that a few times in my life, but it doesn't mean that person is, you know, the one. Sometimes you just find the one. But I don't think there's just one. There's just that one, that time, because of what's going on. But anyways, I do recommend watching Are You the One? Just to like really, you know, if you're older, look back and be like, damn, I remember when I was this stupid. Or if you're, you know, you just like these types of shows, this is one of those ones that's like super fascinating and interesting to get into. So I really liked it. What's up, guys? It's Erik Griffin. I want to talk to you once again about Helix Sleep. I'm a side sleeper. I don't know about you. I can't sleep on my back. I get so uncomfortable. I don't sleep on my stomach. I can't breathe. So I sleep on my side. And when you have a hard, lumpy ass mattress, it can hurt your shoulder. Your fingers get numb. That's what was happening to me on my old mattress until I got a Helix Sleep mattress. Now, we all have different reasons why we can't sleep. You know, the politics, the pandemic, whatever's going on in your love life, just anxiety, whatever it is. A good night's sleep is one of the most important things for better health. So I got a Helix Sleep mattress, and I'm recommending for you guys to get a Helix Sleep mattress. You know, the best thing about it is they got this sleep quiz to help you find out what kind of mattress you need for you. It's a 2-minute quiz. It matches your body type and sleep preference to the perfect mattress for you. Everybody's unique. Everybody's got different styles. Like I said, I sleep on my side. So whatever's good for you. If you're a hot sleeper, you know, do you sweat at night, or are you a heavy person? They have a mattress that will fit any body type. And that's the best thing about it. Just having that sleep quiz to help you figure out like, oh, I need it to be soft or hard or medium. Like, that's the kind of thing you don't think about when you go to the mattress store and you like, what do? You have to lay down in the bed. It's all the same. And that's not even necessarily going to be the bed that's going to be right for you. It's just like, oh, one of the mattresses that they probably have in the back. This one is like completely matched and perfect for your unique body style. Like I said, I took the sleep quiz and I got a midnight Lux, which is perfect for side sleeping. It's just, I'm telling you, you don't even think about it because a mattress is one of those things that you get that you go, oh, well, this is this thing that I have and I'm stuck with it. So if you're going to be stuck with it, at least be stuck with something that you're going to enjoy and really take advantage of, right? So if you're looking for a mattress, take the quiz. You order your mattress, it's matched to you, and it comes shipped right to your door. And, it comes in, it's crazy because it comes in this like really tight, compressed box. You wouldn't think that a king size mattress would be in the box that it's in. You open that sucker up, it explodes out. You let it sit, then it unfolds, and it's perfect for it's perfect for you. It's gonna be the best sleep of your life. I guarantee you. They have a 10-year warranty. So you get to try it for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't like it. But I'm telling you, you're going to like it. All right? Helix is offering up to $200 off on all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Griffin. So make sure you get that, guys. helixsleep.com/Griffin. It's very important. Go take your 2-minute sleep quiz, get your mattress, and have, like I said, the best sleep of your life. Let's get back to the show. That's my review of that. Bachelorette, are you the one? All right. More serious topic is, let me get my iPad out again. I want you guys, if you go to Google, if you're listening to the podcast or you're watching, whatever, open up another thing on your podcast. And I just want you to look up something that 50% of healthcare workers don't want vaccine. All right. And then you'll see like so many articles about this. There's so many articles about it from all over the place. The UK, everywhere. Like there's this article, Daily Mail, just one of them that came up. It says, these, you go to these things, these stupid ads. It's like, get this freaking ad off the screen. This one says nearly 40% of healthcare workers say it's not likely they will get a coronavirus vaccine because they are too afraid of the jabs were developed too quickly to be safe. This is so many articles like this. There are so many articles about healthcare workers. It's like 50%, 60% of healthcare workers in this state and that state are not going to take it. Now, I've talked about this on the podcast about the vaccine. I always go, hey, I'll take the vaccine. Vaccines are safe, for the most part. It's like, when people talk, I've gotten messages about the vaccine and people are talking about like, this happened to this person, this happened to that person. Okay, listen, a vaccine, I liken it to like insulin, say. There are people who are allergic to insulin. But just because there are people who are allergic, it doesn't take away the merits and the benefit of what insulin is and what it does for most people. It's just like, if you think of it this way, a condom. Even a condom, let's say, you're allergic to latex. But just because you're allergic to latex, it doesn't mean condoms are bad. It's just you're allergic to latex. So there are going to be people that have adverse reactions to vaccines. But just because there are those people, it doesn't mean what the vaccine is supposed to do is bad or that it inherently is something wrong with it, right? That's how I feel about that. But I gotta say, that being said, when so many healthcare workers are saying they don't want to take it, it makes you go, what are you talking about? Because this is like, look, if you go to a restaurant and the chef made some special soup and none of the employees want to eat it, you're going to be like, what's wrong with the soup? Because who knows about the soup more than the people that work at that restaurant? They might, if they come into you being like, well, I think the chef, he rushed through this. This soup usually is supposed to simmer for 8 hours and he did it in 2 hours. I don't think it's going to taste right. I mean, you would be like, well, I don't know if I want the soup. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about the vaccine right now. I'm a little bit like, how come these workers don't want to take it? Because they're in the medical field. So I saw one article and it was like, they think it's too politicized. They think they rushed it because it's politics made them rush, and so they're afraid they didn't do a good enough job because vaccines normally take this amount of time. I mean, that's valid, right? That's a valid feeling. That's a way for you to be like, to give you some pause. But devil's advocate on that point for me is the whole world is affected by this. The entire world, the entirety of the whole planet science team was working on this at the same time. So I'm okay with all of the scientists in the world, or whoever, all the experts in this field were all working on this. Yeah, I think they can take a year instead of 4 because everybody's resources were being put into this because it was going to save the planet. So I want to think like that. But I'm sure some of you out there are feeling a little bit like, what's going on here, right? Because I get messages about these things that I talk about. People, some of them are rude. Some people just, they like hearing themselves. They just, I don't know why you have to approach someone in such a rude manner when if you're just trying to engage in a conversation and back and forth, I don't care if you disagree with me. Great. If you disagree with me, start a dialogue. You can come into my comments and be like, well, I think that this is where I disagree with you and this is why, and give me some other points. But no, some of these people are like, you're such an idiot, blah, 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 idiot. This is dumb. It's like, why are you talking to me like that? You don't know me like that. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to hear your point. But not if you're an asshole, you know what I mean? So, anyways, this is this is one of those things I'm saying. Like, it's like you might be out there feeling like this is how I feel about the vaccine. Do you feel like it's safe? Does it worry you that so many healthcare workers don't want to take it? And also, like, you just look up. Sometimes I like to look up. Let me go back to the iPad. I keep the iPad handy. It's like some of the times I like to just know what's going on with certain things. So, it's like if you look up, I'll look up, COVID news. You just go into, you go COVID news. And then it's like you see all these things and it takes you down a rabbit hole, when you just look at the titles. Fauci is back in the news. It says Fauci pushes back on Trump. COVID death numbers are real, So then you go into that and you find out like what is Trump saying about it? But what's this source? What's this news source? So when you look, when I look up things, I like to look it up like that because then you kind of get a sense by looking at all the titles and seeing where it came from. You kind of see what slant it has. And I hate that the news is like that, but it is what it is. That's the world that we live in, So yeah, and then when you look up COVID news, man, it's like it's all negative, man. It's just there's no good news about it at all. There's no hopeful news, man. I keep trying to look for something where I go, oh, maybe it's all about, Florida reports 10,000 new cases. You know what I mean? This is all that it is, U.S. deaths at 350,000. It's like, they're just bombarding us with this like really negative like information. It's like, it's very scary if you just look at this stuff. Like, this is where we're supposed to get our news. This is where our information is coming from. A place like Google and how Google's compiling all the information from all these different places. CNN, LA Times, Washington Post, CBS News, NPR, like the NPR. Like NPR seems to be like one of those places that you think, okay, I think they're doing some real down the middle news, but it's like COVID-19 cases surge in US as vaccinations fall below government predictions. It's like you read that and you go, oh my God, what's going on? Like, are we going to get better? So I don't know, man. I feel like I've been like talking about, oh, I still need my iPad for the next part. I feel like we keep talking about this and everybody has their own thoughts about this and that. And it's just, I was really feeling a certain way because, like I said, we came into the new year 2021, but it didn't feel like a celebration. It just feels like more of the same, if not worse. So it's hard to like, you want to feel hopeful. I mean, that's what the new year is all about. You get to the new year, you want to feel like we could do it. We can make it. This is an all new me. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to change my life. We start to think about all these things and then we end up falling short or succeeding or whatever it is. But it's a sort of a hopeful feel. But like right now, I feel like how is December 31st, 350,000 people were dead and the vaccine's going slow and the election is still weird. And then, January 1st, what's different? Nothing. It's all the same. Like the virus is not going to go, all right, let me give you guys a break because it's a new year. Let me stretch my legs and start over. No, it's like, so sometimes it's actually to me even more depressing, because you're like, damn, I thought this is supposed to be a new time. But that being said, I hope that all I can be is hopeful that the vaccine works, the numbers come down, and we can get back to normal. And it's like, whatever that means. My girl was watching, Rachel was watching this Ariana Grande Netflix documentary concert thing. And they're showing her concert footage. And I was looking at it and I was like, wow, will we ever see that again? When's the next time we're going to see like 25,000 people in this big, huge space, all crammed together, communing through art? Just seeing all the lights and people taking pictures and people singing and really feeling moved by their favorite artist that they paid money to go see. And like, are we going to experience that again? And that's why I try to feel hopeful because we need that. We need it. On my small level, it's like when people come to a comedy club and, they're all sitting there and laughing as a community. Just everybody is like coming together through this person on stage's references and humor and sensibility. And they're bringing it all together and making a group of strangers laugh in unison. Man, there's nothing like it. We need that. I miss it. I want to see it again. So even with all the negative news and all the just terrible stories that you hear and all the things that are going on with this election and, is Biden gonna, is he even gonna get in office? So, with everything, all that stuff that's going on, all I could do is be hopeful that this vaccine is going to work and we're going to beat this thing and get freaking back to normal. That's my hope. All right. Now, I want to finish out talking about this new show that I really, really like. Okay. I want to get the information right. So we're going to the iPad again. Here we go. All right. It's called Raised by Wolves and it's on HBO Max. It's a science fiction drama. The first two episodes were directed by Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott made Aliens, right? He made Aliens, right? He's like, yeah. He made the original Alien and he made Aliens with Sigourney Weaver. So he loves this kind of sci-fi fantasy stuff. Man, this show is so bizarre. It is just so bizarre. So it's one of these like post-apocalyptic, they love to do sci-fi movies where human beings have ruined the planet, like this George Clooney movie on Netflix, which was like what a snooze fest. But anyway, I'll talk about that movie another time. But Raised by Wolves, so it's like this post-apocalyptic, the world has been ravaged by, we ruined it, right? And we ruined it with religion too, which is one of the things I find fascinating about it. It's like the religious wars. So it's like the atheists versus the religious people, and they've decimated the planet. And now we're out here trying to, we're trying to live in space, because we've just ruined Earth. And technology is so advanced that they have these sort of like realistic androids. So the show starts off with these two androids landing on this sort of wasteland planet, and these two androids have to recolonize. So they have human embryos, and this certain robot is designed to be able to not give birth, but sort of, they have like these little womb machines, and they're hooked up to this android, and the android gives birth, helps raise these like 7 kids, and it's like 2 androids, and one of the androids it's like the Terminator. Like, she's like a Terminator, like a killing machine. She was used by one side to like decimate. She's powerful. She could fly, and she screams like, ah, and it like makes people explode. Her creator, or the person that took her over, like reprogrammed her to be a caregiver. So, and it's her and this sort of like service robot, this robot's white, the other robot's black. I don't know why they made that choice that the service robot had to be black. I didn't even think about it until right now. It's just like, it's like any attempt to like make diversity. So you make the robot, like, I don't even know why you would even have a robot have a race in the first place, but it's like, what race would you pick? I mean, it's just a weird choice, right? But anyways, so they're like, she's called mother and he's called father, and they're raising these kids, and then some stuff happens, and then like, the other side, the religious ones, the zealots, they have their ships and they're coming to this planet too. And it's just how the whole thing comes about, like how they interact with the new people that they're in war with. And then there was like, the reason why I'm being vague is I don't want to give anything away, but I just will say that it's such a really interesting show. If you like sci-fi fantasy stuff, man, this is the show, man. It's just it's so crazy to see, like how they, you to believe that these robots are like they have AI, you know what I mean? They're figuring out how to have feelings, and they're raising these kids, and and then like the bad people come, and she like destroys the ship and then kidnaps some of the kids on the ship, because a lot of her own kids that she helped to give birth to died. Then you find out they died because they're eating food on the planet that's radioactive. I mean, it's like a whole thing, man. But it's like such a like fascinating drama. I couldn't stop watching it. The performances are great. The 2 people playing the robots, they're doing such a great job. You actually believe that they are robots. Just the special effects are good, and Ridley Scott's great. He's I don't know if he ever topped Alien and Aliens. I think those were like the cream of the crop in terms of like 80s, 90s sci-fi action movies. But this is just one of those really bizarre shows that I think you guys should take a look at. Raised by Wolves. It's on HBO Max, or if you have HBO. I had cable for a while. I had Spectrum. I was one of the few. I think I was paying too much money for all this stuff, man, because I had Spectrum, but at the same time, I still had Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, DC Universe. I had all these things. So I moved to this new place, and Spectrum dropped the ball in this building, so they weren't allowed to put their things in this building, so I couldn't get Spectrum. So then, but the internet is like super fast. Like the internet here is great. It's Frontier. I'm not getting any money from these people, but I'm just letting you know I have Frontier Communications. Great internet. It's so fast. 500 upload, 500 download, right? So then I said, well, let me try one of these streaming services. So I got YouTube TV. Man, I got to tell you, I don't know what you got. If you still got cable, you might want to switch over to any one of these. Sling, like there's so many, there's 5 or 6 of them now, and they all do the same thing. They all got contracts with all the companies, and they're all doing the same thing. They offer all the channels. So I'm still watching all the channels that I wanted to watch, because the one I really wanted to have is NFL Red Zone. Now, not all of them offer NFL Red Zone, but YouTube TV offers your NFL Red Zone. And, which I love, is the DVR. You can record as many shows as you want. So I haven't even seen the difference, because I used to record, like I love the sports talk show hosts, the sports talk show. So I would listen to like First Take and Speak for Yourself on Fox. I would watch all these shows regularly. You know what I mean? I would record them. So now you can just record and watch wherever you want. You can have up to 6 family members. I mean, I know this sounds like a commercial, but I'm just telling you, if you still got cable, I tell you, man, you should really think about getting rid of it and just going to, like, if you have a smart TV, you are ready to go. Try it for free. You could do it for free. And that shit is dope. I'm watching everything I would watch before right there. I have Apple TV. And then, so I have 2 smart TVs. I have one in the living room, one in the bedroom, right? And so, but I have Apple TV, because everything I have is Apple. So I have Apple TV. Rachel loves the Apple TV because you could just send it from your computer right to the, whatever you're doing. So I thought, I need to get a second Apple TV to go into the living room. But before I did that, I bought it. But I said, well, let me hook up the TV first. So I hooked up the TV. I have a Samsung TV, and it has all the apps on it. And I was like, well, wait a minute. It has YouTube TV. It has NBA. It has Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. It has all the things that I would want. And I was like, well, maybe let me see how this works. Tried it for a few days. And I was like, I don't even need this. I took that Apple TV back, because the smart TV is good enough. So if you got a smart TV, and even if you don't have a smart TV, all you need really is a Fire Stick, a Chrome, Google Chrome, or whatever that is. It called Google Chrome? Yeah, well, Google Cast, or whatever that Cast thing is. Like I said, a Fire Stick, or any kind of thing that's some kind of streaming thing, a Roku, anything like that. You just hook it up to your TV. You got the internet. Get one of these streaming services like Sling, YouTube TV. There's a bunch of other ones. Just look them up, and it's totally worth it, man. It's way cheaper than cable. Like, my bill is so much cheaper now. It's ridiculous. So that's my commercial for that I'm not getting any money for. But anyways, I got a lot coming up for the 2021. I am going to have guests. I have a whole new setup. I'm gonna change the background, but I brought it with me, and I just put this one up, but I think I should change it. And I have I have some great art that people made for me, and I'm trying to put all my stuff up that people brought. I have this great picture. You can't really see it because the guy sent it in like cardboard, and it got kind of messed up in the mail, but I hope that guy still watches. But he sent me this painting he made. It's like a black with like this blue dot. I don't know what it means. Everybody has their own art. And I got my stuff that I have up here. I got my great Blake Griffin bobblehead. I got this great Riffin with Griffin sign that used to be right there. Like I said, I got this great painting. I got my Hangover candles. My Ugly Truth DVD, which you can get on my website. I got my Workaholics DVDs. I got me when I was in high school, looking all svelte. So we were trying to make it happen. And if you guys think some guests that you'd want me to have on the podcast, put it in the comments. Tell me, hey, I like to interact with you guys too. So if you say, hey, try to get this person on the podcast, or hey, can you talk about this, and this, or what do you think about this show, this movie, or that kind of stuff? I'm gonna do more of that. And, of course, I'm gonna have Rachel on too. She'll probably be my first guest again, and her and I will recap everything that's going on leading up to the new year. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys watching and listening to Riffin with Griffin. I love being here. I love doing this. And make sure you catch me gaming. I game every day on Twitch at Erik Griffin Gaming. So I'm still doing that. And then the potluck is over. I did this great show on Twitch on the Crown channel called Potluck. I think you can see replays of those on YouTube on the Crown channel. But I had a good time doing that. So I'm still out there. I'm still out here trying to make things happen in 2021. but a lot of online stuff too. I've really been delving into the online world with Twitch and gaming and playing Call of Duty. I've always put up my Warzone clips. But look, that's all we're going to do for this week. Once again, I appreciate you listening, watching, sharing, subscribing, all that great stuff. And I will see you next week.